And now to talk about our module of the week, let's turn it over to Martin Anderson, Klutz, the Senior Solutions,
No, no,
a
no,
Principal
no.
Solutions
There you
Engineer
go.
at Acquia and a maintainer of a number of Drupal modules and recipes of his own. Martin, what do you have for us this week?
Thanks, Nick. Have you ever wanted to show only a subset of field values on your Drupal entity displays? There's a module for that. It's called Field Formatter Range, and it was created in January of 2024 by Florent Torregrossa, also known as Grim Reaper in the community, but today's guest, Pierre, is also a maintainer. It has an 8.x-1.6 version available, which works with Drupal 10 and 11. It is marked as minimally maintained and maintenance fixes only, but it does have security coverage and also no open issues on Drupal.org, which is pretty good considering it is officially in use by 1,362 sites. Now, unlike some competing solutions, this module uses third party settings to work on virtually any formatter for a multi-valued field. As part of the configuration, a site builder can specify the offset, so where to start, the number of field values to show, and the order in which to show them. The order can be standard or reverse, or it can list them in a random order. Module page gives the example of an entity with 15 images attached and being able to show only the first five, or maybe could show only the five most recent. I think if you combine the module with the custom field module we talked about in episode 505, you could achieve some interesting things with simple configuration. For example, you could have an FAQ page and have the teaser for it show three random answers from the FAQ set. So I thought maybe we could start talking or start the discussion by Pierre. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you became involved as a maintainer on this
Mhm.
module.
I think it was my proposal at the beginning because I'm a huge field formatter user and fan. I love the concept. And in some of our projects, we were doing a specific code just to have the first ones, the last one. When I say first and last, it's not by date, huh? It's by item order. And, and finally, Florent create a generic module for the community to enjoy it. And on my project, we are using it a lot. So it's minimally maintained.
Yeah, I can say with the Smart Date module that I work on, there is a recurring formatter that does some things around sort of showing subsets, in that case, specifically around, which is the most recent or, the upcoming ones and those kinds of things. But I get lots of requests for showing subsets in different sort of configurations. So I was really excited to see this module as something I can potentially point people to, for different ways of being able to sort of show subsets of those multi-valued fields.
Great. I'm happy.
I'm literally sitting here trying to think of another use case for it that'll make it so basically this module allows you to have a field, have a subset of value, have a set of values, and then choose a subset of those values to display.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. So I guess the FAQ one makes a little bit more sense to me now, but where is there another instance where I might only want to see a subset of the responses? Is it more like, I guess, in teaser views? Is that commonly where it's used, or where you think it would be used?
Hmm. Entity reference is a very obvious example. It's the one we talked before. But my main use of this module is, for example, if you want to have a button, you have a set of link with button. Of course, you use a UI pattern formatter with SDC button, and you want the first one to be primary and all the other one to be secondary, because you have a rule in your design saying only one button can be primary in a you put the same field twice with the same formatter, one primary, one secondary, and thanks to field formatter edge, you print only the first one on the first formatter and all the other one with offset of one in the second formatter.
Hmm.
That
Okay.
makes sense. This is getting me thinking. I'm involved with the CRM project, which is a new Drupal native CRM, and we have a use case for this, but I don't think we were aware of the module where we have a relationship between two contacts, right? So
Mm.
there's sort of a contact A and a contact B, but we have a reason why we would want to store both of those in the same field. but we still need to differentiate. And so show which is sort of the from contact and which is the to contact. So this could be a good use case for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So we will reach 2,000 installation of Drupal.org.
Yeah, so I think this is interesting because this is something that you can do in code, right? But it also moves it to configuration, which is its own set of problems, but it's nice because a site builder can now access it without needing to, without needing to know how to write code.
I guess one question in what you said there, Nick, is like why wouldn't you do this in a theme as opposed to within the field formatter itself?
I can answer. To keep the team business agnostic, because it's a business decision what you are doing. It's not part exactly of the design implementation. It's part of the use of the
Yep.
design with business needs you are satisfying. So it belongs to the configuration of the display, in my
It's
opinion.
funny, Pierre, as you answered it, I also in my head was like, well, to keep the data, in the right way to be ingested, like if you're putting this out via API, you would want maybe going back to your example, right? Maybe you'd want that primary button with sub buttons, and maybe you want them displayed in separate areas in different apps. So you'd want to make sure the data was in the right format for all your use cases, not just the one where your theme is
Yeah.
applied. So anyway, I answered my own question.
All right. Well, thank you, Martin. As always, you found a great module of the week that was on topic. If our listeners want to in touch with you and suggest a module of the week, what's the best way for them to do that?
We are always happy to have, sometimes animated discussions about candidates for the module of the week in the Talking Drupal channel of Drupal Slack, or folks can reach out to me directly as Manclue on all the Drupal and social channels.
Great. See you next week.
See you then.